Good boy, Bob.
I tell you what, there's nothing quite like a plate of your favourite grub. Our favourite tucker feeds our bodies and souls.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
So, in this series, I'm celebrating the dishes closest to all our hearts.
Lovely.
I've spoken to some fellow chefs to ask them what dishes they love the most.
Look at that beauty.
It smells delicious.
Trust me, you've got to try it.
I've had a few famous faces round to cook their favourite food for me. She's in the house.
Hot and spicy here, babe.
Like a bit of spice.
So do I.
Can't concentrate, Ainsley.
And I've been doing some culinary reminiscing of my own, cooking up some of the most treasured recipes I've collected over the years.
Do you like your brownies gooey? Yes, yes, I do.
The result is a collection of wonderful recipes from around the world that I know are going to inspire you to get into your own kitchens, to cook up and spruce up some of your old favourites.
Welcome to the food we love.
Our theme today is Fakeaways, recreating those takeaway dishes right in your home. What's your favourite? Italian, perhaps you like a bit of Indian, Chinese. We'll be discovering and bringing great dishes right into your kitchen. Journalist, television presenter and Strictly co-star Anita Rani is in my kitchen. She'll be cooking up a spicy storm with her smoked aubergine curry.
Woohoo!
Yes.
This is going to be fiery.
Yay!
All right.
Yes. Jeremy Pang will be rustling up a Chinese classic and one of Britain's most favourite takeaway dishes, crispy chili beef.
Oh, there's something very naughty but nice about this.
And my old mate Aldo Zilly is in his garden firing up the pizza oven, sharing his secret recipe to make his VI Pizza Romana.
I could go up there, but I won't because I probably won't find it again.
And I'll be experiencing the flavours of India with my cauliflower, butternut squash and spinach dansac. But first, I'm going to be bringing some Caribbean sunshine into your kitchen with my jerk pork belly, along with a beautiful coconut and mango slaw and some clap hand roti. Belly pork's very trendy at the moment, and I used to love going down to the takeaway, the little Caribbean takeaway. There wasn't that many around when I was a kid growing up. Very few. You had to travel far and wide to get them. But when you did, then you got something very, very special indeed. I'm going to score this rind, okay? And that allows some of that lovely flavour which we're going to introduce later, to penetrate. And more importantly, we get a lovely, crispy crackling. Same thing the other way, just scoring it like that. You see that running that knife right across there. Now, what about what we're going to add to that? Well, I want to make up a jerk marinade to bring that pork alive. So I'm going to start off with just a bit of onion into your food processor. OK, I've got a couple of Scotch bonnet peppers. We all know about that. I often say to people, it's not just about the heat, it's also about the flavour. So we're going to take that, throw that in there like that. OK, I've also got a bit of ginger. You can see I'm just sort of roughly chopping this up because the real work's going to happen when I blitz this in the food processor. My little friend here, which is a fresh piece of turmeric, just popping that into my food processor again, along with some garlic. That's going in there. I've got a bit of fresh thyme, literally just ripping that, popping that in there, pulling off those lovely, beautiful scented leaves. All of that goes inside. And finally, I'm going to add a little bit of spice just to kick that up, just like that. OK, just going to blitz that together now. OK, now for the liquid. We've got about 30 ml of a couple of tablespoons of white wine vinegar, and the same with the soy sauce. Yeah, it's lovely. Give that another blitz. And there you have it, guys. The perfect jerk paste. And I'm just going to turn that pork over there like that. So I want to show you the other side of that. Bring that up here. Oh, look at this. That beautiful jerk seasoning. And just ease that over that meat there. Look at that, making sure that you really get a good penetration or even coating right over the top of that. Yeah, boy, like a little bit of Caribbean flavour going in there. Yes! And we're going to pop that into our fridge, and 2 or 3 hours really would be fantastic. If you can do it overnight, you're rewarded big time. So let's just transfer these over. Hey, check this out, guys. Look at that. I'm going to turn this over and just show you that beautiful flavour. Look, all of that lovely marinade there. Look, that's really penetrated into the meat. Okay, and I'm going to put that into my roasting tray. Skin side up. You see that? What I mean is rind side up. All right, and here you can see it's kind of literally all those lovely spices and everything have kind of merged together, but it's not quite as loose as I'd like it to be. So add a little bit of water to loosen it, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to pour that around the edge, and we're going to start that off in the oven at 220 degrees centigrade. That's really quite high, but it's only going to be like that for about 20 minutes, okay? And that's really to get set off that crackling there, to just really get that heat penetrating into it. Then we're going to reduce the heat to 160 degrees centigrade, so that's quite a dramatic drop there. And we're going to leave that in there for 1.5 to 2 hours, and we're just going to let that cook down. And wow, it's going to be something quite special. Okay. Now, what about that coconut and mango slaw? I've got some cabbage that I've cooked up, white cabbage that I've sliced up, not cooked up, just sliced up, along with red cabbage, combination of the two. Could it be just the one? Of course it could be the one. But, you know, it's all about sunshine in the Caribbean and getting some beautiful colours into your food, that type of thing. Also, some lovely mango shards there. Grated coconut, fresh coconut that I've grated. You can actually buy it in pieces now, which I think's really convenient in supermarkets. With the addition of some lovely fresh herbs. I've got some coriander and mint there. So all of that can go in there. And big, bold, and really lovely. We do have to dress it. And that's also quite simple. I've got orange here, and I'm using the zest of the orange. We've got the orange juice in there. We've also got some lime juice. Yeah, lime, a liquor rolling. What you doing? I'm releasing the juice. How you doing that? I'm rolling. There you go. Give that a little bit of a squeeze. And I'm going to put some honey in there. All right. Beautiful hot pepper sauce. There you go. Oh, indeed. A little splash of olive oil, a touch of salt, and a little bit of pepper. All of that in there. Give that a little bit of a invigoration. Invigoration across the nation as we all sit down for a takeaway tonight. It's gonna delight you when you see the food. And then you have that succulent bite. Yeah, boy. Oh. Just so nice. You know what I'm like with dressings? I kind of like the idea of just spooning on some dressing to start with. I don't like pouring everything on. And then you can always come back afterwards. All right, so we've got that going on there. And then we can just fork that through like that. Look at that, beautiful. Bring that alive. Now, it's all about serving. Okay, right. Something about opening up an oven door when you're cooking and the aroma hits you. Hey, Check that out. Oh, boy. Listen. Cracky. I got cracky. By my porky. And it jerky. Now, you've got all that lovely flavour going on in there, so that means it's going to be getting a little bit sticky when it comes to being on that foil paper, but I'll just pull that off as much as I can. We'll try and remove that onto our board. Look at that piece of meat, absolutely lovely. And then we can start to chop up this boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this baby pig. Oh. Look at that, beautiful. Just love it when it's like that. And then I'm just going to put it into beautiful pieces. Look how lovely and luscious that meat looks. Look, absolutely divine. We've got some coleslaw. So we're just going to pop that into our dish here. And I've got some beautiful roti that I've cooked here, clap pan roti. Just a few miniature ones. And don't worry about if you're thinking about how do you make those, Ains? Everything, all the recipes we have, we're going to be able to pop them onto our website, so you'll be able to have those. Just check that out. Look, a bit of salt on the top there, man. Yeah, I like it salty. I also like the fact that you can go to a takeaway and you can get jerk pork belly with a bit of mango and coconut slaw and some clap ham roti. What's the name of it, Ains? It's Ainsley's Takeaway. Coming up a little later, we have Chef Jeremy Pang sharing with us his version of that classic Chinese takeaway, crispy chili beef. I like that, didn't you? But first up, ladies and gentlemen, we have a super talented journalist, a fantastic TV presenter, and I boogied with her too. It's the gorgeous Anita Rani. Oh dear. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm just like, I'm about to cook for you, Ainsley, which is slightly nerve-wracking, but, you know, all good.
It shouldn't be at all, because you do things with such style and easiness, you know what I mean? Well, but I was talking about takeaways. The whole programme is really, we're calling it Fakeaways. Do you sometimes indulge in your takeaway?
Yes, we do. I love cooking, and I like to cook daily, but we do love a good takeaway. Who doesn't love a takeaway pizza? Or Chinese? Yeah. And my husband just loves kebab rolls.
I love it. Now, what about this dish? Is this something that you've learned from Mum, Granny, or is it your own creation that you're going to cook for us today?
No, this is a traditional Punjabi home-style recipe that people have been cooking, I would say, for centuries in the north of India.
OK.
So I'm making Baingan Bharta. It's an aubergine curry mush. And the reason I love it is because you smoke the aubergine. So what you first do is you get your aubergine and you put it on a gas fire, a flame, and you just char the skin like that. It's going to give it this lovely smoky flavour. Shall I start cooking it?
Yeah, please
All
do.
right, let's get some
Please
oil
do.
in the pan.
So, you know what we're like. We just be talking and forget the cooking, and then we can order a takeaway.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I have been known to do that. Right, I'm going to put the cumin in. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon and a bit in. I love cumin. This is my favourite spice.
OK.
And that was the end of that.
Onions are toasting nicely.
Thank you very much. The thing about the way I think curry, and you know this, I'm not teaching you, Ainsley. You're sorry, like master chef. People always make a mistake of not cooking the onions for long enough. Yeah. You can't have raw onions in a curry. Nah. You've got to just keep them going. Yeah. This one doesn't need to be low and slow. This one can be toasted off. OK. Oh, I'm properly in the zone now. I'm loving it.
Isn't it
I was well nervous.
Cooking
in your kitchen is one thing, but cooking for Ainsley on telly. OK, that's happening. OK, so now I better get on with the next bit. Yes, thank you. If you can turn that down. Right, now, ginger and chilli. I'm going to blend that up.
There you go.
All right, that's all right. That's happening.
That's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, this is going to be fiery. Yee! All right.
Yes.
Right, top tip.
Burn everything up.
Yeah. Top tip, check the strength of your chilies before just whacking them in.
Runny heat in the pot.
Absolutely. Look how happy I am. Just these smells. Come on, the smells.
It's beautiful. Of course, we danced on Strictly together, and you danced with Heaven on Legs.
The devastatingly handsome Gleb Savchenko. I think it was right at the beginning. He was like, "Don't worry, Anita, I know how to save this dance." And just took his shirt off. And that was it. That was how he was saving our samba. Ains, look at that. Check that out.
I am. Can you tell us again? Let's go over this now. We started off with the onions. You started hitting it with some wonderful spices, didn't you? And then we added the addition of the chili...
Ginger.
No, ginger,
Yeah.
that's it. Blitzed down with a little bit of water, put the tomatoes in there. It's so wonderfully aromatic. I've got to tell you, the smells that are coming from this are great. And then we've got the smoked aubergine, which we cooked on the fire. We're going to add that now, are we?
Yes, we are.
OK.
So this is what's going to bring the whole thing to life. I would say probably leave it for about 10 minutes or something.
OK, you let that cook down for a while. We've got one here that you just previously cooked. How are you doing there? All right, just
do
swap
that.
those over. Beautiful.
And then,
OK.
last minute, we're going to add some peas.
OK.
Yeah, so I love a nice onion salad with all
Yeah,
the
there's something nice about having a fresh salad to accompany, isn't it?
You can put some lemon juice on there. Red wine vinegar is what I'm using. Yeah, a bit of sharpness.
I think one of the great things about food is it brings people together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, and we've had a lovely chat today. Really is lovely. Look at this.
There you go, Ainsley. Baingan Bharta with an onion salad, yoghurt and a roti. Ta-da!
Oh, wow! Really, really good. So impressed. Thank you so much for this. Look at that. I'm compiling this. Beautiful. I can still smell all those wonderful spices and stuff in the air. It makes such a difference, doesn't it, eh? Kind of draws you in almost.
The pressure's on. I've just cooked for Ainsley.
Well,
How is it?
doesn't it just work every time? If you can concentrate on just bringing lots of lovely fresh spices and flavours together, the reward is there on the plate for you instantly, isn't it? But for now, we're off to meet my friend and award-winning chef, Jeremy Pang, who's going to be showing us his take on that classic Chinese takeaway, crispy chili beef.
Crispy chili beef. It's one of those Cantonese dishes that is so popular, not just here, but all over the world. And this is my chili beef recipe. So we're going to start with a base of ginger, garlic, 1 to 2 chilies, depending on how hot you want it. Onto the steak. I've got some rump steak here. I actually froze this for about 45 minutes. When you slice your chunks or strips of beef out, then it's much easier to get sort of more uniform strips of beef. I'm just gonna carefully take that in half before I then cut strips of beef out. The beauty of a cleaver is that you can sort of really use the surface area to hit things with. Now I can do nice chunky strips of my rump steak. So the meat's all cut up. I'm gonna season this or marinate my meat. And marinating your meat's really important when you're cooking this type of food. So a couple of spoons of light soy sauce, roughly a teaspoon or so of sesame oil, and then a pinch of sugar. And in Chinese cooking, we believe that everything has its own sweetness, so that pinch of sugar accentuates that sweetness. And then you want to give that a good massage through, get all that sauce and sesame oil wrapped around the meat rather than sitting at the bottom of the bowl. So I'm just going to make up the sauce. I'm actually starting with what we call a Qingqiang black vinegar, which is a black rice vinegar. But if you can't find this, then just swap it out with a thin balsamic vinegar, 4 spoons of honey, and that's going to caramelize very quickly because of that honey. And then I'm going for 3 tablespoons of ketchup. That's already smelling like a Chinese takeaway or fakeaway. And then the last sauce that I'm going to add to this is just about half a tablespoon of dark soy, and that will really deepen that sort of deep red colour. So my beef's been marinating away. Time to crack the egg in. And the egg's just to help sort of bind the flour. I've got lots of cornflour here, and I'm going to keep adding more cornflour into this sort of eggy, marinated meat. And what it creates is a sort of dry, dusty, white batter, you'll know when it's ready, when you can kind of lift your beef up and separate out your pieces of beef by just sort of running your fingers through it. Right, onto the cooking. Now, anything wooden will tell you sort of what heat your oil is at. If it fizzes in hot oil, you're at about 180 degrees C. I'm just sort of shaking my beef strips out of sort of any excess flour. Now I'm going to cook this in batches to keep each individual piece nice and crispy. Just carefully lay that in, give it a little gentle push through to separate out your pieces of beef. Oh, there's something very naughty but nice about this. So you can hear that there's less bubbling, there's much less fizzing. That's when I know that the beef is going to be really nice and crispy on the outside because it's less moisture coming out of that. It's well sealed. Whoa, look how crispy that is. So from here on in, it is seriously quick cooking. I've got my wok on a good high heat. A little bit of oil, ginger into that wok. Give it a quick stir. Garlic, another quick stir. Chili, of course, this chili beef, and then sauce straight over the top. And you should hear that immediate sizzle. Never lose your sizzle. Now you want to bring this to a vigorous boil all the way through the sauce before I add the beef in. And this is where the wok toss is seriously important. And I know, Ainsley, you love a good wok toss. So now it's starting to caramelize and bubble all the way through. My beef is going to go in. Beef in. Flick through 5 or 6 times. And to keep the crisp, no more than that, straight out onto your plate. My crispy chili beef, over to you, Ainsley.
Wow, Jeremy, that was fantastic. And the way he was handling that meat cleaver, eh? Made me go crispy all over. It did, it did. I don't know about you, but after something savoury, I tend to like something a little bit sweet. So I want to do for you my chocolate chip and coconut ice cream sandwiches. Oh, yeah, they're to die for. But really, it's all about that cookie, isn't it? That base. Let me show you how simple it is. First, you take your butter, and then we're going to add our sugars. I've got a couple of sugars here. Soft brown sugar going in there. Of course, that gives it that lovely, slight toffee taste. White sugar, too. Don't forget, all your recipes are there on the website for you guys. I'm putting in just a little bit of vanilla extract there. That's perfect. And then we're just going to blend those together with our beaters. Okay. And we're just going to beat that now till it's nice and pale. Switch that off. Okay, then we can add the egg. Okay, it's a whole egg. And we continue to beat it. Slowly incorporating it into the mix, all right? And then we can turn up the power a little bit more. Lovely. You see that? That's mixed in there perfectly. Then I'm going to put my flour in next, all right? So just shake that in a little bit. Start to stir that in like that. Okay, now a little bit of bicarb of soda going in there, just half a teaspoon. And then we continue to mix. That's it. You see that? I'm not blending it completely because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my chocolate and I'm going to chop that up. There you go. Lovely. And just pop that straight in there. And it's up to you what type of chocolate you want. Do you like a dark chocolate? Do you like a chocolate with a high cocoa content, you know? One of those that just says 70% cocoa content. You know you're talking about some serious cocoa there, aren't you, eh? All of that going in there. Let's bring that back up here now. You can see those lovely bits of chocolate. And I said coconut cookie, didn't I? So there you go. That chocolate and coconut, all of that going in. And just blending that together. There we are. Just a pinch of salt there. Lovely. Right, now, just going to wrap those up. You're talking about half the quantity here now. You don't need to weigh it out, you know. A little bit of guesswork in there is absolutely fine. I don't mind that. That's it. Pop that in there like that. Spread it out a little bit. All right, you can see just kind of giving a little sort of spread. All of that will happen when you wrap that greaseproof paper around it like that. Squeeze that up like this, okay? That's it. And when you do get to that stage, we want to get that perfect to twist the bottom, the top, or the bottom. Twist the ends until it comes together, okay? And then popping that into your chiller for a couple of hours to let them firm up. I'm going to show you now exactly what that looks like. Yo! And here you go. Okay, and we can just take those out. There's your baking tray. Now, let me just rinse off my knife here. Got some warm water. I like the idea of when I'm baking, I normally have a bit of hot water there. It just helps for sort of sliding things or cutting things or, you know, spreading things. Just helps a little bit. Now, we want these, one of those. I'm going to cut that into 8. Yeah, that one bit's going to be 8. We are making sandwiches here. So that in half there, okay? There we are, we're in half. Imagine half again. There we are, just mark that, and then you can start. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Think about half again, always looking at half. Cut, cut, and cut. There we are, 8 pieces. Now, you need 2 trays lined with parchment paper here. Now, notice what I've done here. I've separated those. They're quite a bit apart there because they are going to spread considerably when they go into your oven. All right, and talking about the oven, you're popping them in there for, that's 160 degrees centigrade for about 12 or 15 minutes, okay? You still want them a little bit soft. Let's pop these into our oven. Here they are, and looking absolutely yummy. You can see those. And what I really love about this is that they're just a little bit, look at that, a little bit soft. They just give a little bit, they're a little bit gooey in the middle. Oh, get on with it, Ains. All right, then. Now, how do we sandwich them together? Ice cream. Now, you can get different types of ice cream, and you can scrape them, you can do this, you can do that. What I love is I just get one of these tubs, okay? And then I get my knife, and I just kind of run it down, just like this. Can you see that? Okay, and then you get a little bit of a peel back. You see where I'm coming from now, don't you? You're going, yeah, we know what you're doing, Ains. We know what you're doing. And we're just going to take a slice like that. Peel that down again. There you go. Let's have another slice of that. Oh, yes. Perfecto. Now, you know what's coming, don't you? Take the other cookie, pop that on the top like that, and there you have it. Look at that. My chocolate chip and coconut cookie and ice cream sandwich. Oh, wow. Check that out. Sometimes you don't need words. You just need your tongue, your teeth, and your taste buds, because they're about to be seriously stimulated. We're off to meet my mate Aldo Zilly now, who's going to give us some masterclass on how to make your own.
Everybody eats pizza. You can take it away, you can eat it in restaurants. So I'm going to make my version of pizza today. Right, I've got a little bit of warm water, and I'm going to put some yeast in there, a teaspoon of dried yeast, okay? And it starts reacting very, very fast because you can see the little bubbles already, okay? So once you've done that, add a little bit of flour, half the amount of flour you got, 300 grams, at 0-0 flour. That's important, okay? And then you start working with your hand. You bring it in, and you add a little bit more lukewarm water, okay? Always make it the day before, because it needs to rise, it needs to do its bit in the fridge, and then the next day, when you're ready to cook your pizza, take it out of the fridge a couple of hours before you're ready to do it, okay? Once you got to this stage, 5 to 10 minutes. And just put a little bit of cling film, cover it in the fridge. See you tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow comes, and here we are. Woohoo, look at these babies. These were made yesterday, and now, look at that. Twice the size, nice and fluffy and soft, easy, easy, easy to use, okay? Onto the board. I'm making a VIP pizza called VI Pizza, which is something that, it's a name that is a little bit cheesy, but I created it 8 years ago, and every time it goes on one of the menus, it just flies. So this topping for the pizza is going to be a little bit different today. No tomato sauce. I'm going to mix some Gorgonzola picante, which I have right here, with some truffle paste. Okay, so if you haven't got truffle paste, then mushrooms is another good ingredient to mix this with. Okay, this Gorgonzola is picante, means spicy, so it's you know, strong, if you like. Okay, so Gorgonzola is it's a blue, very strong cheese. So you don't want too much of it, that's what I'm trying to say. And so is this truffle paste. So we don't need too much of this, but we need enough to put on the pizza base, okay? Then what I've done is I've caramelized a few red onions. The paste is ready. The pizza dough is ready. Why don't we just do this, okay? Now, if you are not confident of stretching this with your fingers, with your hands, then you'll have to use a rolling pin. Now, the Romana, which is what I'm making, is a thin crust base. Basically, you stretch your pizza. Okay, I could go up there, but I won't because I probably won't find it again. All right, so, so here's my pizza onto this pizza shovel. So now, a little bit of this paste goes all the way around. So normally this would be tomato sauce, but in this case it's not. A bit of black pepper. Some of these caramelized onions on top of this. Now, a little bit of mozzarella cheese. So now, make sure it moves onto the shovel first, okay? That it moves so that you can leave it in the oven. So you go in one go, you got one go of this, you go in and you leave it in there, okay? The oven needs to be about 350 and it cooks. This cooks in no time at all, one or 2 minutes, okay? Have a good look every so often. It doesn't matter. You're at home, you do what you like, okay? So look, that's like a wood-burning oven now. There you go, you turn it the other way, then you put it back in, and now you let it cook all the way through. And this is looking good already. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Hey, arrivata, look at that. It looks absolutely amazing. Okay, what I've got here now, a bit of rocket, a little bit of extra chili oil, a little squeeze of this lemon, Mix, mix, mix. A little bit of salt. This is my version of a very special VIP pizza. One last thing. This is summer truffle. Ooh, mamma mia. And that's just going to finish my VIP pizza off. And trust me, you gotta try it to believe it. Look how beautiful it is.
Well, thanks very much indeed for that, Aldo. A fabulous pizza, really, really lovely. The only problem is I'd love you to deliver it. Have a good old chat, mate. Have a good old catch-up. Now, I've got an absolute gem of a recipe to complete our Fakeaway menu. It's my cauliflower, butternut and spinach Dansac. Nothing could be simpler. You know, it's one of those kind of sweet and sour Indian dishes that just deliver every time. I don't know an Indian dish that doesn't deliver. Take your cauliflower, all right, and then you want to break this into florets. So we're just kind of breaking up. Can you see that? Just separating it like that. You want sort of pieces to be sort of almost like bite size. And when it gets down to that little sort of stem there, the bit in the middle, what I do is I just trim that down, just cut that off there, and then continue to break up. There you go. All right, get your pan on now. Okay, fairly high heat. Okay, the idea is sometimes when you want a high heat, we're not cooking this all the way through to start with. We're just going to sort of season this up a little bit inside my bowl, and I'm going to do that with some garam masala. Just give that a little bit of a sprinkle there. That's it, maybe a touch more. That's it. A little bit of S&P. That's it, just rub that through. And just going to pour a little bit of oil on those. That's it, lovely. In that goes. Okay, going to brown that up a little bit. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. And it smells lovely and aromatic too. A little bit of colour on our cauliflower, all right? And we're just going to transfer that into our bowl there. Give you an idea. You can see that, look, you can see just a little bit of colour going on there. Not all of it has to be that colour, just a little bit golden. All right, then. I've already got some onions here that I have cooked down because anybody will tell you that any good Indian chef will cook their onions down for a good sort of 6, 7, 8 minutes just to soften them. I'm adding some slices of garlic to it. There you go, into your pan. A couple of centimetres of ginger, straight in there. There you go, lovely. Love a bit of ginger. And then in with our butternut squash. Okay, you can use any type of squash, actually. There's so many different varieties out there. I think butternut's sort of quite trendy. A little bit of turmeric going in there, not too much. People tend to go a little bit too mad on the turmeric. About half a teaspoon of that. All right, it does impart a lovely colour, flavour, but it is a pungency to it that can completely dominate. So you do have to be careful, all right, with that. That's okay. I'm going to add a little bit more oil, you can see there. Don't be frightened sometimes. You're going to think, oh, that looks a little dry. And it's not a sauce, it's just a way of sort of frying things off just a little bit more sometimes, okay? That's it, lovely. And look at that colour, love that. You know, turmeric's a little bit like saffron, you know, you put it in something and suddenly it goes, yeah. Okay, I've got some chilli here. 1 or 2 chilies, we'll put in 1 this time. I think that'll be fine, just to cut that down. Beautiful. Okay, chilli going in. How lovely. Very nice. Got some lentils there too. Love the idea of using lentils in a dish. Yeah, I know it brings Trumpton into the house, but it's a very good flavour. A little bit of sugar going in. It wouldn't be the same without a little bit of sugar. This time I'm not actually going to be using loads of different spices. I'm going to be using a good curry paste. Have a look up there. There's some fabulous curry paste on the market. Great, you pop it in the fridge, very, very convenient, especially when you want a quick Fakeaway dish. That's the curry paste and some tamarind paste too there. Lovely. Beautiful. All of that's in there now. Fabulous. I like stuff when it looks like that, all those lovely colours going on. Then you start getting the sizzle. And then what happens after the sizzle? You get the... Shall we wait and listen to it? Have a listen. Here it comes. See what I mean? It's lovely, isn't it? Eh? Love that sound when you're putting stock into things like that. All right, look at this. We just cook that down. Those lentils will soak up all that lovely, lovely flavour. OK? And what do we do at this stage? We take our cauliflower that has been salted off with the garam masala. All of that goes back in. All right, and just kind of using the... push that down there a little bit. OK, bring that up to the boil, then absolutely reduce that heat right down and allow it to simmer and allow it to cook down for about 15, 20 minutes, and bang, have a look at what we've got in here. There we go. Can you see that? Let it cook down, absolutely beautiful. Just look at the way the lentils have cooked there. We've got lovely, soft, tender pieces of butternut squash there and wonderfully aromatic. We're not finished, though. No, no, we're not finished at all. There you go. In the cherry tomatoes go. All right, lovely. Fabulous. Good squeeze of lemon juice. That's lovely. I'm going to have some coriander I'm putting in now. You can put a little bit towards the end too, but coriander going in. And I do like the idea of just incorporating the stalk and everything into it too, all right? That's absolutely fine. Just a touch more garam masala. Fabulous. All right. A little bit of that seasoning. Fabulous. And last but not least, last minute, just throw in those spinach leaves and just let them wilt a little bit. I'm actually going to turn that heat off now. I've just got to accompany that with a little bit of rice. And then let's serve up. Wow, hey, how about that? Looking good? I tell you what, it absolutely smells terrific. There you go. Absolutely lovely. My cauliflower, butternut, and spinach Dansac. Served for you. Who needs a takeaway? I do sometimes, but for the moment, that's what you're getting. What a fantastic menu of Fakeaway favourites we've enjoyed. Jerk pork belly with coconut and mango slaw. Crispy chili beef. Chocolate chip and coconut cookie ice cream sandwiches. VI Pizza Romana. And cauliflower, butternut and spinach Dansac. Now, it's always good to support your local takeaway, but now and then, it's nice to have a go at home. Enjoy. See you soon.